Alright, y'all. I just want to let y'all know I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm making sure I'm sweet. I wanted to talk about something though. So here's my thing. Alright, quarantine. It's kind of been a big deal for everyone, and a lot of us have had revelations and things have gone on over this time, and something came to me. God damn it, I like people. I was like, fuck. I have been a person hater my entire life. Here I am, fully committed to not really liking people. I don't wave on the block or anything like that, but after being locked indoors, especially 4 months straight, after I stopped working, it was, people are nice. I went from, don't touch me to, hey, do you want a hug? Like, you look like you could need a hug. I also got weird friends too. I got a lot of, not a lot. I got a small amount of friends out here, right? They're pretty cool. Minnesotans, in my mind, being from New York, it might as well just be Southern Canada. So a lot of them are nice, but I got this weird best friend back in New York. His name's Tanner. Tanner is not typically an ethnic name, but here he is, Native American, with Tanner. He rides the wind Blue Wolf as his full government name. It starts off weird there. And it only goes from, he's got that to, I feel like he's got a weird crush on me. You ever feel like one of your friends has just like too much affection towards you where it's like, maybe we don't do sleepovers. Alright, I'm not happy to say this, but from time to time, he will go ahead and be like, how you doing today, boo? And I'm not saying that my wife doesn't love me, but I'm like, hey, it's nice to have a good morning text from time to time. No, we started a podcast together, and then, it came out as far as like how weird our relationship is, because it went from like just regular talking about this, that, and the other to I'm now his Valentine this year.
True story.
His birthday was January 14th, and I was like, all right, man, you're turning 30, the dirty 30. What do you want for your birthday this year? He's like, I want either a flight out to see you or you to fly out to see me. And I'm like, well, first of all, be reasonable. I ain't got money like that. First of all, I'm not even working like that. So he's like, all right, round two. I want a bottle of liquor. I want a heart-shaped box of chocolates. Why are you being so specific with this now? And then I want love notes. All right. Cool. I should realize by now this man clearly has a crush, but I was like, all right, let me
hear that, Tanner?
Let me oblige. He's turning 30. Midlife crisis, maybe it's just that. No. Our podcast ended up airing where he had a bottle of liquor, his box of chocolates, and his love notes right behind him. Now, all right, my love notes weren't what you're thinking. They're not long, full of paragraphs and soliloquies or such. No, it was, here's your bottle of alcohol, enjoy. I hate that you made me do this. his chocolates, I was a little nicer because I was like, all right, chocolates, it's already in a heart-shaped box, so I might as well take the extra step. I hate you. Why would you make me do this? I hope you enjoy. But then here's the kicker with all that. His birthday is literally 30 days from Valentine's Day, January 14th. So I'm sitting there talking with my wife one night after he tells me what he wants, and I don't like when my wife makes jokes at me. Usually I make all the jokes, and she's like, well, you can't even buy me anything now because you're his Valentine. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Oh, how does this happen? I went back and forth. It was a weird night for me because I went upstairs talking to her. All right, he wants this, this, and this. I walked back downstairs. I noticed to myself that this is actually the case of like, oh, this is really 30 days from, and I now can no longer buy my wife anything because I spent my $83 on him instead of her. I don't make a lot of money. Again, usually I try to buy jewelry, but this year just wasn't the one for it. And now that's gone to him. So hopefully he's giving up the gifts that night and selling her. Someone better pass it on. Other than that, I got a lot of health issues. I don't look like my man's over here, but I do have a lot of health issues. It's weird. It's weird because in between my thyroid issues, my heart issues, and other valvular structures amongst my body, I don't retain salt and water. I have mental health issues. Now, I know most people do because I'm bipolar, PTSD, and now I'm starting to figure out that there's another personality. So as much as the universe is like, hey, let's go ahead and dump his basket full of extra shit, I mean, at least he made me a B-, a B in looks, so I'll take that. I try and pump myself more up than what I am, but hey, the joke works for a B instead of. I think I have personality sometimes, right? God damn, this little bit in the background is distracting.
Shut up.
Nah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you're trying to talk and there's always just this back chatter. Usually it's a gnat or a mosquito just. But nah, sometimes it's people. And I treat them all the same. I smack them. Nah, most times I'm a nice person, but I'm never gonna be Minnesota nice. Let me tell you just a quick little story before I get off the stage. Now, I don't drive because I black out sometimes, right? And I was riding my bike home, and I'm used to cold weather. I'm from upstate New York. Like, we get cold and we get a lot of snow. But it's different when you're a black man riding a bike down the street and a white woman pulls over to hand you a scarf like, no, you better protect yourself out here. Never in my life had someone just out on the outskirts been like, no, you're gonna get frostbite. You better wrap up. No, that's Minnesota nice. And from New York standards, I'm like, is this heaven a little bit? Y'all nice out here. I do too many evil things sometimes to feel like I belong out here. I'm a big fan of manipulation. I do all right with it. It's one of those things, hey, it gets you by, right? No, sometimes you just gotta change how people look at the situation, and manipulation does a great thing with that. And that's not what you guys do out here. Man, I tell you what, when getting a job in New York, it's like, you gotta fudge some paperwork. Out here, it's like, no, you want a job here? Go ahead. That's how I got my job at an animal hospital, right? Because I've always been a huge animal fan. And it was one of those things like, all right, I smoke a lot of pot though. And how do you maintain a job at a hospital when you smoke a lot of pot? So, hey, I actually did all right. The only thing that stopped me was blacking out. I can blame health issues, not pot. I will say that. All right, again, thank you guys for the short amount of time. I'm gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna try and get better. Appreciate y'all time.